If you were to ask me what is the toughest, longest serving pack I have ever used, without a doubt, it's the Camelbak HAWG. Now the reason I say that is because 2 years ago, I wanted to participate in what's called a GORUCK challenge. And without going into a lot of detail, you may have even heard of their packs, GORUCK packs. We've yet to review one. But I wanted to participate in what is a GORUCK challenge, which is basically you and several other people, usually between 20 and 40, as a unit and as a team, participate in physical activity, PT exercises basically, as a team, depending on your level of fitness and depending on the level that you choose, from what I did, which are the lights, which is 4 to 6 hours, and it involves about 8 to 10 miles roughly, and lots of PT in between. But you have to have, for that class that I did, and 20 pounds inside your pack. And so I've participated in 3 so far, and in between each one, I do them about every 6 months. I spend 6 months of heavy exercising 3 times a week with this assault pack with 20 pounds in it, running, jogging, push-ups, lunges, all that type of stuff, and have loved doing it. And I highly recommend it. I'll have a link in the description below over to GORUCK challenges if you're interested in challenging yourself and you like the idea of doing something as a unit and as a team and having to carry weight and have to carry a pack the entire time with weight in it. It's a great activity to do, a great challenge to, push yourself physically. But this is the thing. When I bought that pack in the black, and it's been bomb-proof. I mean, it's lasted through all, 3 times a week, every week, working out with it, doing all kinds of stuff with it, hiking, whatever, as well. There came to a point when I was like, you know what, I'm ready to do a review on this. It's basically the toughest pack I've ever used. And when I was doing my research, making sure I had all the specs and everything, I found out that Camelbak recently redesigned the pack. So I reached out to Camelbak, and I want to appreciate them for sending me the camo version, the multi-cam version of this pack. Because when I told them, I said, hey guys, I have no need to upgrade, but I want to show people the newest version that you can now purchase and that now is available. And Camelbak was willing to send me this version so that I could test out. I used it on my most recent GORUCK challenge that I just did. I've had several months with it now and have been loving it, and it's just as tough as the original that I purchased 2 years ago. So with that, guys, let's go ahead, take a look at the longest serving, toughest pack I've ever owned. Let's go ahead and hit some of the basic specs on this pack, and this offers, a lot. Now, the cubic inches is going to be 1,220 cubic inches, which equals 20 liters. So this is a 20-liter pack plus a 3-liter reservoir. The pack itself, empty, is going to weigh 2.5 pounds, so rather lightweight, and that's added by the 500 denier Kedora nylon that they've been doing, which is awesome, and it's held up great, super tough. It's got the Kedora logo on it. You can't go wrong when you're looking at that type of stuff, and I love 500. 500 just seems to really work well for me. 1,000 is a little bit overkill and would have made this pack more like 3.5 pounds. The dimensions overall for us are 19 inches from top to bottom. It's going to be 10.5 inches wide and 10.2 inches deep overall. And those are just a few of the basic specs with a lifetime, no questions asked warranty. Anything gets damaged, torn, break, anything like that, Camelbak stands behind their stuff, which is awesome, and another reason why I chose this pack. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the straps on this pack and just kind of talk about how it rides, because as I've told you, I've been using this for almost 2 years now, a couple times a week with 30 pounds on it as I'm doing exercises and workouts and jogging. I mean, so it's got to be comfortable, and that's why I've stuck with it and wanted the new generation, because of how comfortable and just well thought out they did the straps. So as we look at the straps themselves, they've done a great job making them really nice and thick and padded. They've done a good job in giving you this comfortable kind of ridge line on either side, so it's not going to bite into your body with those heavier loads that you may be carrying, regardless if you're in the military or you're doing a GORUCK or whatever you may be doing, just a hike like we're doing today. Then as we go along here up top, they've done great stitching. They've done box weaving, and that's where a lot of the stress would be, with heavier loads. No tearing out in the 2 years that I've done with all my weightlifting and, the GORUCK training. We got plastic D-rings here. We got another set of D-rings right down here as well. You can see I've attached, like a Benchmade fixed blade right there. So lots of different attachment capabilities. You've got this little nylon strap that you can feed your bladder through. Comes all the way down, and we do have these tracks that you can either adjust your sternum strap and put it top or bottom. Now, because this is a military style pack, there is no emergency whistle on the sternum strap. A lot of hiking packs do that now, but obviously in the military, they're not wanting to, you know, call attention to themselves. But a really good sternum strap with lots of leverage. It's really tough, durable. All the clips are super tough. What's the brand? h.a.w.g. I've used that with some other brands as well. That's a really good brand of durable clips. So again, you can track that whole thing really well. And then you've got your quick release as well. So I could totally dump this pack if I needed to in a really, you know, quick, it got caught somewhere and I gotta, you know, get out of town or, you know, get out of that situation, whatever the case may be. And then finally we come to the belly strap here, and they did a really good job with that as well. They give you the little elastic bands to kind of keep it in place. This is right above my belly button, but for the size of pack, it's good. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. And for my GORUCKing, it's important because when I'm doing bear crawls and those type of things, it keeps the pack from wanting to slide over my head when I cinch it down real tight. And it is removable back here. I could totally unvelcro this, take it off completely. And this even has a little bit of nylon protecting the D-ring there from digging into your body if you're really cinching that down tight. So just really, really well thought out system here in how it, you know, rides. And it's very, very comfortable and carries and stabilizes that load really, really well. So we're going to take a look at the back portion here. Now they give you kind of a flow track system. They make it kind of a vinyl feel. And it actually does pretty well at keeping the sweat that is going to happen from getting kind of stuck on the bag and making the bag weigh down and stink. It just kind of slides off and it's not really, you know, a problem. Now, as we look here on the sides, there are 2 ports on either side down here that you could feed your straw through, because this is right up against the bladder. And they do that on either side down here, as well as a straw port up here that's ambidextrous for the bladder. And that's where this zipper comes in. You just open that bad boy. It is going to come with the mil-spec 100-ounce bladder that I love. It's got the quick attachment down in there. We've talked about it. We've done a review. It has the attachment up here. Now, when I GORUCK, I actually can fit my 20-pound plate inside this sleeve, and that's where I keep it. And the padding is really good, and it won't wear out my shoulders or my back with that heavy plate inside here, which is awesome that they really did a good job with the padding overall. And that compartment is dual use for either that water bladder or, again, for GORUCKing, I use that plate. So there's one stage of MOLLE on this pack. It's the whole back panel, and this is one of the new upgrades that they've done over the old version. The old version was just standout MOLLE, and it held up great. This is laser cut MOLLE, so there's a secondary panel behind there, and then this panel right here. This is new. It cuts down on weight. You know, some companies are starting to do this. Holds my medical kit very nicely there. Don't have really any issues with that. So you have a lot of MOLLE compatibility options on the whole back panel here. The one caveat I would say with that I saw in the original, and I would love to see in some new generation down the line, is this side panel right here has no MOLLE whatsoever. That's the only MOLLE you're going to see is on this back panel. And I would have liked to have this compression strap raised up just right here where the zipper stops and give you a panel of webbing, PALS webbing right here and on the other side, so that small items like my medical kit, I could attach to the side. I could do Camelbak's MOLLE compatible water pouch, things like that, and carry it more on the side of the bag than on the back, because then the back can start to kind of just crawl off the back of you instead of carrying it on the side. So in the future, I would love to see this on either side have a stage of PALS webbing as well. That's a little critique that I have on the overall design. It would just make it more compatible with some of the items that I like to MOLLE attach to my packs. So on either side, they do have these compression straps. Again, the ITW brand. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, ITW. I've used that on some other brands as well. Very tough, high quality plastics. Again, super high quality. That's why I named this video the toughest pack I own. This is just such a freaking tough pack and has lasted for so long. The difference with these compression straps over the old version that I had, the old ones were actually tab based, so you could actually remove these clips and replace them if need be. But I actually had one of those fail. That was the only piece on the entire pack that I ever had fail, and I just swapped it out right away with another one. But I'm glad that they kind of went away from that and just kept good solid tabs here so that there wouldn't be any sort of worry about them breaking off. And they've done that with the Velcro Velcro keepers as well, so you don't have a bunch of nylon flapping around if you do compress this down. And I do tend to do that with my GORUCKs, and then I tend to open it up if I am doing like a day hike like we're doing today. This was just a lighter hike, so I didn't need as much gear. But, you know, that can really stretch out or it can really compress it down and get the pack really nice and tight up against your body, and it's not sagging off and really fatiguing your shoulders. So good setup for the 2 compression straps that they offer you. So the price on this thing is another great aspect of the pack and why I originally bought the original one, and the price hasn't really changed at all in the last 2 years with this new redesign, which is also good to see. This is gonna run you about 130 bucks on Amazon. The prices may vary a little bit on color combinations, and there are 3 color combinations. You can either get the multicam, you can get the black, or you can get tan. So 3 different colors for you to choose from, but about 130 bucks. We'll have links in the description below over to Amazon. So if you are interested in this pack, that's a great way to help support the channel. And for that price, we're talking about a lifetime warranty, Kedora nylon with a water bladder. That's one of my favorite bladders on the market. You can't go wrong. So there's a Velcro strip here. You can see I have 3 different pals, or not pals, but morale patches that I've put here. Not only the GORUCK, my first one that I ever did, my logo, and then it's just a patch that means a lot to me. So the bottom of the pack is nice and flat. I like that, so you can set it down. It's not going to tip over right away. They do give you this grommet drainage hole, which is really good for, obviously, you know, if the pack gets wet, one of the bladders, you know, the bladder that you may be carrying leaks, you know, you didn't seat it right, or like what I do when I do the GORUCking, they do oftentimes 1 or 2 of the workouts are in a river or a lake or something like that, and so this will help you drain out whatever gets wet inside. Then they do give you super solid 4 attachments here that you could run paracord, night eyes, gear ties, and I use that usually. I just haven't done it yet. Stitch that through with some paracord, so it kind of gives me a grab handle so that I could then have a grab handle on the front and back for some of the weightlifting portions when they tell you to put the packs over your head and that type of thing. But you could, you know, put a poncho, a jacket, a small tent, a tarp, something like that. You could easily lash to that, and these are very solid. I've carried the whole pack with 30 pounds in it upside down and putting stress on these attachments, and they've never torn out over the 2 years of use that I've had with the original design, and now for with this guy for a while now. So the grab handle is a great feature that I love about this pack and has seen so much use, and they've just done such a great job with the stitching right here. Feels really good in the hand because, you know, again, I've got 30 pounds in this. I'm using it 3 days a week, you know, and I'm grabbing right here to help lift it over my head when I'm doing some of those workouts and slinging the pack around, and this has never torn out, never had any sort of stitching issues, and I foresee the same with this design as well. Then on either side, we have here a port right there for either an antenna or a secondary water bladder if you wish, and you want to run, if you were to carry 2 water bladders, one in the designated water bladder port, and then on the inside pouch we're going to look at, they do offer that you could run your straw through there as well. Now on the outermost pocket here, we have a 1 zipper pull. You open that up. It's just a dump pouch. There's no fleece lining or anything. It's pretty deep though, which is nice, so you can definitely get, you know, some snacks, some power bars, and that type of thing. A pair of sunglasses inside a sunglass case, and they do put the key keeper inside there as well. Okay, so as we go to the next pouch here, we have 2 runs of zippers with that nice paracord and the YKK zippers, obviously. Now, if you just need to get into it real quick, the compression straps will keep it so it's just kind of like a top loading. But if you really need to get into the bag and get some gear down below, the zippers will go basically 3/4 of the way. The whole thing opens up, and this is the organizational pouch as well. Now they've done some changes. There's actually less organization here. They made a bigger dump pouch here that I could have my fire kit in. Then they give you a 1 pouch that could handle an AK or AR mag. The old version had 2 pouches like this, and they actually had a rubber band to Velcro over to really keep those mags in place. I'm kind of indifferent, you know, one way or the other. It doesn't really bother me. I'm not really, you know, I'm not in the military, so I'm not using this as an assault pack, so to speak. You know, so give or take, depending on if you were going to plan on using this for a lot of AR mags, this can now only hold one and does not have the tab. Then it just has a little dump pouch kind of area here. So it gives you a little bit of organization, but I would say that this bag overall is pretty minimalist in its organization that it offers you, and that would maybe be for some people who really like to deck out their bags and really keep it all organized. That could be something of a little bit of a downfall for you. There is one extra little pouch area here where you could get a couple pens and keep those from sliding around, but that's it. I mean, that's the only organization that you're going to get in this pocket, and the other one is just a dump. So, and then you got your little pouch here. That's it. And so this is definitely more of an assault style, military style pack. So the final large compartment, again, 2 YKK zipper pulls that either you can do half open, or if you remove the compression straps, you can totally open this bad boy all the way up. This is where you would put a lot of your larger items. You know, I can actually get a smaller ammo can inside here and stack 2 of those if need be. When I was doing my GORUCking originally, before I got my plate, I could get the 4 5-pound bricks and duct tape it up, fit perfectly in here with no problem, and actually had some room to spare. So the extra bonus with this compartment, and again, no organization, it's just a dump pouch, but they do give you these really heavy duty, solid, strong attachments, one up here and one on either side. And so that's for either radios again and that type of thing, or for either swapping out your bladder and putting your bladder in here instead of the bladder compartment, which is what I do in my GORUCks now, because I put my plate in the bladder sleeve and then I put my bladder in this sleeve. And so you can just hang it just like you did in that portion, and then you can still run it all the way through. And you can see here, even though I'm in that other compartment, I'm bypassing the water bladder pouch and just going straight in, which is nice. Or again, you could run it through your ports up here. Lots of options. Or you could just do 200 ounces of water. If you know you're going to go for miles and miles, you're going to be in the heat, and you want to deck this thing out with 2 water bladders, you can absolutely do that as well. But this has a lot of space in here, can carry a lot of gear. It would be a great, again, for maybe like a go bag, you know, a couple days overnight travel, you know, if you're going somewhere and, you know, you can pack light, this can definitely get a lot of gear in these compartments. So folks, in conclusion, I can't say enough good things about this for its toughness, durability, and overall what you get for the pack. Is it a perfect pack? Absolutely not. Some of the things that we've discussed, I would love to see tweaked in whatever next generation that they come out with here in years to come. But overall, it's the toughest pack I've ever used. It's the most long-serving pack, and I can't say enough good things about it if you're in the market for a bomb-proof pack at a reasonable price. So, as always, thank you so much for coming over here, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your thoughts on this pack. And as always, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.